Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for coming to see us today. What a great ProMat, right? My gosh, it's so busy out there. I'm Jarrod Hubbard. I am the Director of Core Sales for the Raymond Corporation. With me?
Yes, Martin Buena-Franco. I'm an automation manager for the marketing manager for the automation segment at the Raymond Corporation.
Yeah, we're going to talk to you today about reducing costs and improving operational visibility with smart connected warehouses. So our agenda, we're going to talk about new and emerging technologies. We're going to talk about trends and challenges transforming warehousing operations. And then we're going to turn data into results that reduce costs, deliver on key KPIs, key performance indicators, okay? Future's here. You can see it out there. If you look at both sides of this event, you can see the future is here right now, right? And every one of your systems out there are talking. Your trucks are talking, your people are talking, your conveyance, your systems, everything is talking. And you, if you gather that information and harness it, you can basically make data-driven decisions and informed decisions on your operation, right? You can capture that and drive it into automation and labor efficiencies and analytics that can propel you beyond your competition. Remember, this technology is here now, and that interconnected nature of the technology is moving forward rapidly, right? You've got automation out there, right? That's intelligent. It's good technology, but it's even better when you can merge that technology, automation technology, with your human labor on the floor, giving you the most efficient way to run your facilities.
So let's taking a closer look at the trucks, right? I think one of the takeaways here is interconnected systems technology. So when you connect, say you have a labor management system in your facility, you have telematics, idea is to cross all that information that you're harvesting, right? And then run the analytics. What do you do with that data? It's actionable data, right? That you can apply, go back, optimize, right? You can provide visibility, right, down to the line managers. You can create a productivity model for your employees, again, so that the line managers, right, can benchmark, right? They can hold their teams accountable. You can utilize that data real time again, so you can redeploy, say, people during peak demand or peak hours. You can, say, take people from a pick area to a packing area, right? So you get some agility day to day. Right, so there's a lot of power in the data, the analytics that come out of that. Again, the takeaway, the theme, as we continue with this presentation here, is going to be that the connected systems really it's become the tool for tracking and managing not just people, but your assets, your trucks to the facility, and labor.
Yeah, you can take that labor, redeploy it from low-value tasks into those high-value tasks, have them earn a higher wage, and retain them longer. So let's not forget about maintenance, right? So connected technologies can help you maximize and optimize your vehicles, right? You can use software to track your maintenance programs, your scheduled maintenance. You can track costing, right? You can track asset cost of ownership. Literally, this technology, you can dispatch technicians right from your phone. You would go in there, give the serial number of the truck, the error code that it gave, and then you can do any other comments about the truck, take pictures, send it out, and a technician will come to your facility. Actually, you can set it up to where your technician receives those error codes proactively, and they're already coming on site to take care of your equipment to keep it up, right? Then with that, you can look at consumption management, right? How are these trucks being consumed, and then you can look at the service consumption, the parts consumption. You can set KPIs on that. You can do root cause analysis, and then you can prioritize your equipment on Pareto, fleet it around to make sure that you're getting every bit of use out of that piece of equipment. And then you can actually take all these metrics and customize a labor maintenance plan. Pay for what you use. Instead of just paying a flat fee or time and materials, you can set it up so it'll hit your peaks and hit your valleys.
So fleet oversight, telematics, right, is the right tool here. So a telematics system, can pay by itself because it has a lot of built-in, risk mitigation features. So let's say at the beginning of the shift, right, the operators, they're presented with a checklist, right? So OSHA, in some areas, they ask that the operators take a little walk around the truck just to make sure, hey, inspect the tires, right? Are they in good shape? Any leaks, right? Once they step up and turn the ignition on, they have to sign in. And based on their level of training, that particular day, the truck will limit the speed, right? Because perhaps you have to refresh the training or just won't allow that particular operator, again, to drive the truck, until they take the right level of training. So there's a lot of risk mitigation features. We have a sensor package. There's a sensor package that actually manages impacts, obviously, for, you're hitting infrastructure racks or dropping pallets. Okay, so a lot of good risk mitigation features. The other one is just a fleet utilization. So we're keeping track of idle time, travel time, lift time. Wealth of information out there. But the idea is to take a look, a visual representation of all that data that is being collected day after day, and it's just basically a tool to right size the fleet, right, to redeploy that you have the right trucks doing the right job, the right amount of trucks, right? So fleet utilization, very, very valuable, and we can engineer timeout. Another important metric, I think, is the true utilization of the facility as a whole, right? And we can utilize or take that information so that we can come up with financial options, right? Whether if it's you're better off, buying a truck, a fleet, or leasing it, or just pay by the hour based on peak demand, through the seasons.
So now we got the trucks. Let's talk about your operators. Who's experienced a high level of turnover? Anybody experienced a turnover? You've got a lot of turnover. You're adding people, plus you may be losing tenured folks, right? So with virtual reality, you can bring people on quicker. You would bring them into a lab test learning environment where they would go virtually onto a piece of equipment and they can be onboarded. You can put someone on this truck, teach them before they ever go out to your floor and actually drive a piece of equipment. You can also use what we call a buck. You see the young lady standing there. Instead of taking a piece of equipment out of production, you would have them train specifically on the buck. They can onboard, but you can also do lesson training for your tenured people. It can take them through more complicated, they can upgrade in their truck capabilities, and they can also do things like let down, put away, all replenishment. You can teach them, so there's training all the way through this for all of your operators. But it's really just about bringing those people on. I know it's a challenge. You're probably bringing on people every week and getting them onboarded quicker so they can be more productive and efficient out there on the floor.
E-commerce growth. It's just no surprise to anyone here. I mean, e-commerce, direct-to-consumer operation models continue to grow, to expand. And with that, there's a lot of new challenges, right, for the facility managers, for the operations managers. You have to move more product through the facility. It's a much higher SKU count. So every little cubic inch of space is very, very valuable in that facility, right? So the good news is that the trucks and technology is keeping up with the demands of e-commerce. So we can go higher. We can actually, the right trucks are, getting to the point of commercialization, or they're here for very narrow aisles. So, the trend is to go higher, to go, in this simulation actually, and I think I kind of missed it. We can probably just step back. One of the things that we're trying to show here is in e-commerce, we have operator assist technologies, right, that we layer on top of the traditional trucks. The idea here is, of course, that the truck knows where to go to do the next pick. So the operator, they don't have to optimize the travel, right? They remain in the optimal travel position. They don't have to step up on the truck, advance, drive it, and then step down. So you're taking a lot of that repetitive task out of this operation. So the operator is just focused on doing the right pick, placing it at the right place on that pallet, because they may be working in multiple orders at the same time, right? So, but we've optimized the travel, and that person is actually more efficient. We can track increases in productivity up to 20% and reduce missed picks by up to 25%. So again, operator assist technologies to support e-commerce. Trucks are keeping up with those demands.
Yeah, that pick the light, or pick the pallet is what we call it. That gives that accuracy, so that operator not only gets a vocal or visual, but it also has a lighted area you saw at the bottom of the truck, where they know exactly what pallet that piece of product needs to go on. So again, that's eliminating those pick errors, and that's a very costly return and all that stuff. So we're reducing the amount of loss that you have inside your facility. So another thing, I'm talking about those brand new associates that you're onboarding. We have technologies that will help them. So this is zoning and positioning. What this does is you train your operator how to use an order picker, and the WMS will drive this pick accuracy. So all the operator has to do is throttle it, and it will vector directly to the piece of to the pick area. Won't undershoot, won't overshoot. You do not go vertically too early or horizontal too late. You get right to the pick area immediately, pick it, and then they throttle again, and it takes them to the next pick. Those are the things that help you get more productive and efficient, and have your operators almost working like a tenured associate right off the bat, right? So you can just go in there and get that optimum pick, integrating with your integration, and using zoning position to help those operators be more accurate.
All right, so those were good examples. We're keeping the operator more focused on doing the right pick, whether if it's low level, high level, up on the rack, right? But this is collision avoidance technology. So sensors that within the aisle, first thing is we can stop the truck at the end of the aisle, right? So the throttle goes to the neutral position. Again, we're reinforcing good practices, right? Training and potentially avoiding incidents. So when it came down to this, the end of the second aisle, it was not allowed to go because the sensors could detect an incoming truck. And until that path is clear, the operator can continue on its way. So collision avoidance is another layer of technology that we can put on traditional trucks.
Again, we're putting operator assist technologies to help them focus on picks and pick accuracy, and assisting them so they can lower the risk out there in the facility. So you're out there traveling, and obviously you're going to have some congestion. So now you've got humans and automation working together, as well as operators on trucks driving. So there's software traffic management that will help you, real-time location sensing. It will help determine traffic patterns, congested areas, bottlenecks. It will help the flow throughout your facility. They give you heat maps, spaghetti maps, and congestion maps, so you can understand the flow of traffic through your facility and help your operators do a more efficient flow through, or move through the facility. And it'll help your pedestrians understand where those pieces of equipment are, so they both know where each other is, so they can work in tandem and coexist on the same plane out there.
Very good. So labor shortages, I think anyone in this room can relate to that. They're heading, facility size is going to vary, long travel distances. So what we're showing here is just an AGV, right, a tow tractor with a train, and it's being loaded up with 3 pallets by a smart conveyor, and then you're basically automating the horizontal travel all the way to a different station, right? So this process before used to be a manual process, right, where you have a driver perhaps making this trip 3 times back and forth, right? So the idea here is with automation AGVs is just simply put your talent where they can add more value, right? So it can be upstream, downstream, ensure that we smooth out, remove bottlenecks. There is more continuity. Perhaps that person that was driving before becomes a wrangler, and they can oversee multiple tow tractors, right? So now you can you get that multiplicity, right? So you get the benefit of having one driver and doing 10 times the work.
So all these technologies are designed to hopefully retain your labor, your associates out there. To retain those people using operator assist technologies, automation where it's needed, right? So you just got to make sure that you have a right technology roadmap that fits your needs, right? So deploying these will help you get there and help your operators understand what technology can do for them. Let's talk about energy management. A lot of people think of your batteries and chargers and all that stuff as just something that you do, but you can now leverage that information through telematics. So you can get information right off the batteries. You can look at the battery state of charge. You can look at the watering that's been done. You can see if it's overheating, if it's charged properly, if it needs to be equalized. You can also set up a replacement schedule. It's so hard to understand battery state of health. This system will help you manage it in a virtual power room, right? Virtual battery management room. It'll help you get those replacement cycles so you're not just getting whole fleets. You may be replacing only a few as you move forward. It can also set it up to where you can get maintenance on those pieces of equipment and pay by the usage. Instead of just having someone maintain it or your associates maintain it, you can get the KPIs and metrics off of your energy management so you can be better fluid with your power and then again manage it better and have it basically last longer for you in the facility.
So where we're headed in regards to WMS integration, I think that's one of the systems that we're seeing more use cases develop. Quite interesting, actually. I mean, just to set a couple of examples, I think we alluded to that direct picking, whether if it's low level, high level, right? If you know where, the next pick is the location of the next pick, you can automate that travel process and facilitate the travel, right, for the operator. So you can increase the pick accuracy. Effectively, that's what you're getting out of that. You can optimize the route. So you're batching the work order. So before you push them down to an AGV system, right, you can batch them in a way that you're going to optimize the amount of travel. And that can happen inside the aisle, outside the aisle. The other one is you can control the weight. So if you know the weight of a pallet ahead of time, you don't want to create an unsafe situation, so you want to place it lower in the rack, right, as opposed to higher up. Just as an example. Another use case is just dynamic slotting. So based on velocity, seasonal velocity, right, you can basically bring the high skew, the high count closer to where the closest, fastest pick is going to be. Again, there's a lot of use cases, but WMS integration is one of those areas that when you cross it again with telematics and labor management system, you can come up with some very unique, specific, use cases for your facility to optimize the process as a whole.
So taking those trucks and optimizing those paths, you can optimize your operation, right? You can use that fleet utilization information and uptime. You can increase your uptime, but you can really understand operational costs, like cost per pallet or cost per pick. It'll give information on not only your equipment, all your supporting equipment, like your conveyance and systems like that, but also your people. Your people are sending data every second of the day. So you can optimize all of that together through telematics, and you can then make those data-driven, informed decisions on your facility.
So where we're headed, again, in regards with real-time location systems, because, again, all the assets on the floor, they're connected, they're talking, we know exactly their location in the facility, right? So with that, we can create different zones. We can create a slow zone, right? So closer to where you find there's a lot of pedestrians, perhaps closest to an office area, break areas, you want to slow the trucks down, we can do that. Perhaps there is a stop zone. You may have a pick or packing area where there's a lot of people working. You can create that zone. The trucks will not get into that zone. We can stop them. Okay. Another one you can see here. There's a structure. It can be a fire mitigation system, a suspended conveyor, anything in the facility, right? Gas line. So we can create a no-lift zone. So if you have to frequently travel through that area, we just won't allow for the mass to go up. Again, the operator doesn't have to worry about that, because what happens, sometimes they forget. There can be an incident in the facility. So again, those zones, you can create them, and it's just gonna, again, improve the flow, reduce risk.
So we're helping operators make better decisions, right, when they're operating your equipment. Another one is congestion avoidance, right? So we're moving towards proactively determining routes using your WMS integrated with the telematics system and real-time location sensing. We will help optimize those routes and actually give them routes proactively to avoid any congestion inside the facility, bottlenecks. They may even take a longer route around a congested area, but that's the most optimal route to get to the pick. So it's becoming to where it's more proactive and productive.
This is a new product we are actually showing at our booth. We're excited about it because this is an auto charging system for our AGV fleet, right? So effectively what we can do is remove people from the charging stations. There is no need to, swap batteries, plug in batteries on a regular basis, right? So the traffic controller, the software will know if an AGV, needs to be charged, right? Perhaps you can schedule it to go and charge at night, so it's fully charged the next day, right? So off shift, or you can do it on demand, or you can do opportunity charging. So it's a new capability. We're excited about it, again, because now we're fully automating the whole, fleet.
Again, it's all about removing that labor out of low-value tasks and reallocating it to high-value tasks, right?
That's a whole video.
Just let it go.
So, in summary, this technology, it's here. There are use cases that are been implemented. We're seeing the results. Interconnected data. Again, crossing the different systems, telematics, labor management, WMS systems, etc. You can harvest a lot of good information. Turn it into actionable data, right? To further optimize. This basically gives you a window into what is truly happening in that facility, your facility, and you can utilize that again for optimization. One of the things that we do at Raymond, by the way, is not we get a lot of questions at the booth. Is say we're looking at optimizing or automating and making an investment in automation. And typically what we'd like to do instead is to engage in discussions with customers. We want to understand what they're doing today, right? What does their manual process look like? What are their KPIs that they're not meeting? What are the pain points, right? So we need to, one of the first things we do is we'd like to optimize, truly understand what they're doing, what they're trying to get. We have a lot of experience within our company, 100-year-old company, right? So we like to optimize, and a lot of times just optimization, even before we make an investment in automation, we can get customers closer to meeting those KPIs, okay? So we're not right away jump into an automation solution, right? So optimization, and then the next thing is to connect. Essentially, let's bring in telematics so we can get a better view as to what you need, what's going on in that facility, right? And a lot of that data, again, we can reuse, repurpose, so we can further optimize the operation. Again, we'll get closer to meeting those KPIs. And last, if it warrants, then we'll prescribe and make a recommendation for an investment in automation. And a lot of times that investment, it's the leap, takes us to meeting those KPIs or even exceeding those. The benefits, once you do all of this, optimize, connect, and automate, is agility, meeting your KPIs. I don't know if you want to add that, but it's a disciplined process. It's something that's the approach, the discipline that we like to do, and our sales force is basically doing.
So we've got a few of our technology people in the room. So do you have any questions for us? We were that clear. Awesome. We have a microphone if you'd like to be mic'd up. No questions? Great. So appreciate you being here. Thank you very, very much. We know that your time is limited here at ProMat. Hopefully you'll come over to the Raymond booth and see some of this technology in action. We have it all working over there. Come on over. We've got a lot of people that can answer a lot of questions, and hopefully we can get you taken care of. Thanks again for coming to our session today. We appreciate it. Hope you have a great day.
Thank you.